Now, winter usually brings with it snow and cold, but also many family traditions around the holidays. One tradition is venturing out, cutting down the perfect tree. But before the tree makes its way into your home, it takes almost a decade to grow, battling the elements and needing lots of care. I went to one farm in Crawfordsville and found out it's a true labor of love.
The Steins are grain farmers at heart. Rachel brought up the idea to husband Matt about expanding the family farm to something a little more festive. Christmas trees.
One of the things we're trying to do here is to create traditions and memories for families.
It's a childhood activity Rachel remembers and wants to pass along to her kids. But trying to grow and nurture acres of trees takes time.
I think the most important thing to starting a Christmas tree farm is a little bit of ignorance, because it does take so long, so much patience.
Long as in a decade. From seedlings to maturity, it takes roughly about 11 years until the trees are ready to be cut down. Matt is constantly watching the weather forecast because these trees thrive in slightly drier than average conditions and cooler temperatures.
There's been 2 years that we've been pretty dry, particularly this year with the seedlings that we were trying to get established. We've had 2 years that the mortality percentage has been a little higher just due to being dry. This year we got some irrigation.
Irrigation has helped, and the mature trees have done very well and will be ready to cut this year. Next weather worry to watch is the spring temperatures.
A really late freeze hurts these little buds that you can barely see right now. That next year, this is the branch for next year, and it'll pop out in early spring. And if we get a hard freeze in early May, that can get kind of scary.
Not only do they face impacts from the weather here, but also from wildlife. Take a look at this. You could see deer have damaged this particular tree by rubbing its antlers on it, but this tree is still useful. They're going to use this for garland and other kind of wreaths, so it's not a completely lost cause.
The Steins have 12,000 trees and are all in various stages of development. Each one gets special attention several times a year. The shape we're so used to seeing isn't natural. Each one is individually trimmed to look like a cone.
So you got to come in and prune the tops to keep that conical shape. And you want it to be nice and full the whole way down, and you don't want it super thick or super thin, and that's all part of the art.
An art that is also a labor of love. By the time a tree reaches your house, the countless hours spent caring for it won't even be noticeable.
There are some challenges like we talked about with the weather, but there are a plethora of trees available for you to cut.
Rows upon rows of trees are looked over carefully, trimmed, and given extra attention so you can make those family memories.